Useless and Vomit, Charles.
Exactly.
The wrong president.
Yeah, I mean, the original animated show was I really enjoyed it back in the day. And it's an honor to be showcasing a new edition or a different interpretation of Useless and Vomit. But that in a nutshell describes the Bite Me administration, the Bite Me hairless administration. I mean, one person is dumber than the next. You saw that clip of hairless down at the in Puerto Rico, clapping like a seal.
For people making fun of her?
For people are like ridiculing her in Spanish. And she's clapping like she's Kim Jong-un, you know?
Before we get too into today's show, Charles, let me just detail what we've got going on here. For people who are Wallace and Gromit fans and have seen, what is it called? The Wrong Trousers. It's about, you know, Wallace is like an inventor, but I think the dog is smarter than him, basically. And he invents robot pants. And since Joe Biden is quite obviously using robot pants, I just wanted to take this opportunity to, you know, do a little caricature of him in the pants. But he's the wrong president. The person actually controlling the pants is Feathers McGee, or whatever this penguin's name was. It looks like Obama. But that's the deal there with Useless and Vomit. What have we got here?
I don't know. Somebody left their shoes behind.
Well, this could be a sale. You never know.
Yeah.
Spring is springing, although it's a little cold today.
And we're actually taking a little bit of a risk, which I think we should do, going into the very dangerous part of the park. You see that collection of garbage over there around people.
I think it's better. There's kids back in this playground.
This part is better, but that where we go.
Oh, look, they have a camera there now.
Where?
Right on that. That looks new to me.
But that ahead of us is not looking so good. So
no, but we've had a lot of stuff going on yesterday and today with P. Diddy. He's disappeared. Nobody knows where he is. I don't know. Does that usually seem to be the type of thing, if you get hit with a lawsuit and an investigation, if you're innocent, do you like abscond?
I mean, I don't know a lot about it. Is that Methuselah up ahead? We want to pick up the pace a little bit.
Sure, but I mean, it doesn't seem like the type of thing an innocent person would do, does it?
Not at all. And I don't think, I mean, there's so many aspects. Anytime you have a rags to riches scenario with no real explanation of how the riches were obtained, you know, it gets my hackles up. There's so much dirty money coursing around the globe that needs to find a laundry and get cleaned up. And, you know, and
trying to start a conversation.
I know, we're not going to get involved with that.
He said, "How are you?" "Oh, fine. How you doing? Nice to meet you."
Yeah, pull up your pants.
What are you up to? What line of work are you in?
Didn't I know you? Did I go to Harvard with you? Yeah, probably.
I think there's urine running down your leg. You know, look at that.
Yeah, let's get over here.
Yeah. It's not really too much better, to tell you the truth. There's fewer people, but they still seem to be engaged in essentially the same
non-action, but
sort of thing.
This real estate here is
all NYU.
Well, yeah, but we had a friend growing up whose father was Norman Redlick on the Warren Commission.
Oh wow!
I think he wasn't chair of it, but he was a very important. He was dean of the NYU Law School.
Earl Warren was the chairman.
Right, but the guy who did the work, I think, was Norman Redlick. Huh. And so anyway, he lived in that building. The president of NYU used to live in that building.
Yeah, that's Brittany Hall, I think, or
no, the one on the corner.
Lipton Hall, it's called now.
That's Marty Lipton.
Well, I didn't think it was called Lipton Hall when I went there.
No, that's Marty Lipton of Wachtell Lipton. The law firm that George Conway inexplicably worked for, and the guy is so fucking stupid, George Conway. You know, that Kellyanne's Conway's former husband.
He strikes me as gay as well.
Well, it doesn't matter. He's just stupid.
I mean, I'm just saying this whole class of Washington, D.C. people who pretend to be married but are like so clearly gay that they are up to something. A lot of this is what's coming out in this P. Diddy thing. And look, I mean, from the pop culture aspect, P. Diddy is not that interesting, but this is another peek into this, you know, sort of blackmail world of, as you said, dark money going all around. How did Epstein get so rich and influential? Right. What is Prince Harry is hanging out with Diddy? So it's just like a kind of another version of the same kind of thing.
You're gonna have to call him P. Diddley.
People are already doing that, but I mean, again, the question is, how can this guy get away with doing so many insane crimes, allegedly,
Well, let's go back to base
for so
principles.
many years.
Go back to base principles. You know, J. Edgar Hoover, I think there was no question that he was closeted gay. No question. And look at what he did when he ran the FBI. Explain how all his files disappeared shortly after he died. You know,
Sounds a lot like Trudeau.
It seems like that's the template
Right.
that people are using. And really, you know, you turn this whole stuff on its head.
Sorry, let me do one thing here, Charles.
Sure.
Try that.
Sure. I would say that I'm pretty conservative economically and open-minded socially, but in 2024, nobody should be ashamed of being gay unless you're
Right.
pretending to your spouse
That's the problem.
and your children that you're straight, in which case you're a liar.
Correct.
You know, I mean, today, I mean, in 1945, it wasn't
Right.
so easy to do this, but I think in 2024,
Nobody
it's-
cares.
Well, it's some people even view it as being cooler than straight. I mean,
Exactly.
You know,
if
so-
somebody likes you, they don't care
right.
what
Right.
you're doing in your intimate life.
Right. Be true to thyself.
Right.
Is that from the Bible itself? And if so,
Probably.
Old or New Testament? I don't know.
You and I
To
quote
thine
the
own,
Bible.
to thine own self be true. I think is the quote.
Here's Joe Cool.
That's not Joe Cold. Joe
Cold
No
brew.
Brain.
Yeah.
So just jumping back though to what I was saying about the idiot in Puerto Rico, and then the thing happens. It's interesting. Bing noodles.
That's new.
Bing noodles
That's
by
like Chow House.
Yeah. The person pretending to be president of the United States and doing a bad and fooling nobody, you know, to have this disaster happen in Baltimore,
Yeah.
and then get up there and say, you know, I have many fond memories going across this bridge. I mean, nobody,
That's not what
unless
this
he went
speech
by
is about,
car.
stupid.
But he was saying he rode the train, and on many
Oh,
occasions
right.
he went over the bridge. The train doesn't go over the bridge. Look at this idiot.
So, I mean, the big debate right now, Charles, is that people observe explosions at the break points of the bridge.
Right.
And there's a bit of an argument happening as to whether that's normal or just lights going out or whatever. But first of all, let me just show people this. This was the cover of the New York Post today. And let's just look at this for a second. So they got a lot about Diddy and everything. So here's the bridge. So they had this sort of slowed down weird thing, which you can see it at the top there. I've got a better version that we'll look at in a minute, but there is a light right at the center of the apex of the bridge.
Right.
And then there's an explosion just to the left of the light. Let me get you a better video so you can see that a little more clearly. I downloaded the live feed from the bridge itself. Oh wait, is this not? Yeah, there it is.
And there's another one.
Yeah, there's many, but there are lights up there, so it's confusing. And forgive me, that's not the close-up. I had a close-up that I did. I put it on Twitter. I might have forgotten to put it on the phone. But here's the close-up of it, because you can really see there's a light.
Is that?
And then to the left of the light, it's a different color.
And one down here.
And see how the light has a lens flare, almost like a star? That one does not have that. So the lights are and look, as it falls, it's a gas cloud, and that's not a light in my view. So the question now becomes, that's some sort of thing that isn't a light.
Right.
What caused it? And there's a certain type of person who likes to go on Twitter and just type in whatever kind of stupid crap is in their head, like, oh, not everything is a conspiracy theory.
Of crap.
Yeah. Not everything is a conspiracy. And it's like, you know, that's like saying, you know, don't go swimming 10 minutes after lunch. Doesn't help me unless you know something about this.
Right.
Why are you chiming in with nonsense? Now, good news, crowdsourcing works. A Twitter follower named Tim said he has experience in demolition, and he does not believe that even if the boat hit the bridge, that it would cleanly break at those clear points like that. He said it would twist and contort and tear the whole thing down, but he just does not believe that steel would snap like that without a charge. And then he posted some other things. He said, here's a steel railing I built in my house, and it's made with this kind of gauge of steel, which is the weakest steel that you can get. And he said, there's just not something that you can hit this with that'll just cause it to cleanly snap in some other location.
Yeah.
And so he's saying, he fell short of saying this is definitely an explosion. I mean, I asked him, can you speak about the explosion itself? Anything about the gas cloud or the way that it blooms up and then dissipates? He says he's not a demolition expert in that way, and that you really should speak to someone with munitions expertise and somebody in the military, but it finds it very suspicious. And coupled with coming right out and saying, look, we have no idea what this is, but it's definitely not terrorism.
Yeah, I know. I mean, that's just so foolish.
Not valid.
Any real expert on a topic is good, unless it's patently obvious. And you got
right.
You can triple check it immediately and say definitively this is whatever you think it is. Any real expert is going to reserve judgment for, certainly in this case a week.
A day.
But to instantly
and
say...
the guy got appointed the day before this happened. It fits the pattern of 9/11.
Yeah, of course. And it's silliness. And you contrast that, of course, with Nord Stream. We don't know what happened 2 years ago.
Right.
But we do know instantly this isn't terrorism. I'm actually sick and tired of watching these post-disaster press conferences where there are 40 people in different types of uniforms congratulating...
refusing to answer questions.
Yeah, congratulating one another on the great job of all their teams.
Saved the 6 people on the bridge.
Right,
Now, forget about the supply chain problems this is going to create for months. Forget about the $1 billion project to rebuild this bridge that's going to be immediately awarded to whoever.
That's going to be
Joe Biden came out and said, we're going to rebuild this, and people raised the point of like, wait a minute, isn't Congress supposed to do that? Doesn't the bridge have some insurance policy or something? Why is Joe Biden coming out right away and saying we're going to...
He's a moron. I mean, isn't this a coal-fired pizza place?
Yes. I forget the name of it, but it looks closed. Didn't it used to? Oh no, it's
maybe
different.
It
changed.
It's the next corner.
Yeah,
it's the next corner. But yeah, I mean, I've given an interview recently, a print interview with Sputnik, 2 of them actually, in different topics. One on Boeing and one on this mess in the Moscow bombing. And once you lose, I didn't say it this way, but once you lose your credibility,
it's lost.
Yeah, you have to go through a penance, chain, renewal, growth experience. It's going to take a long time. People are going to doubt everything you say until you try to rebuild a track record
and
of being honest.
And it'll always be harmed.
Yeah, and meanwhile, that idiot, another idiot, dumber even than Biden, which is tough to be, and much younger, Latrine, gets up there and has an interview with somebody who starts asking about dementia and inflation, and she hangs up the phone on him.
Wow.
She's claiming that she didn't do that, or her people are saying, no, that didn't happen that way, but here we go. Coal oven pizza.
They got to have a plant-based life.
Who is that person?
Is she getting married? I don't know.
Well, it says...
Jill Hennessy, I do.
March 26th.
Maybe she's having her wedding at the pizza place.
Today is March 27th, I believe.
Well, then maybe she's married.
Yeah.
At the pizza place.
The pizza, or maybe it was a concert.
So Putin said that the UK, the US, and Ukraine... Oh wait, we're not done with the boat yet, because there's still more suspicious information. Yesterday, Charles, I found this on this maritime website. Well, somebody sent it to me, and then I went to the website and noticed that this guy's details have been updated on March 3rd, 3/3. And then very curiously, after I tweeted that and it got a lot of attention, today the same website has deleted that guy. And I have not yet been able to verify this, but I did hear a person on YouTube say that this Singapore registered vessel, the Dali, is owned by the shipping company that Mitch McConnell's wife owns.
Not wife.
Sister-in-law?
Sister-in-law, the one who died.
The one who died. So what the hell is going on with that? That's super suspicious as well, isn't it?
Again, I don't know. I would, I think we need to take a step back and get some honest answers. Forget the mainstream media, because that's dead. I mean, the mainstream, you don't need to read that anymore. We need the citizen journalists to tick off important stories, however they might do it. And I'm interested in, we have these nutcases, supposed environmentalists, who want, humans to die. World Economic Forum wants the population to be cut by 90% or more. And you got all these food processing plants and maybe pipelines. There's a course at Harvard Law where they're screening a movie at Harvard Law School where the premise of the movie is explaining to people how to blow up the energy infrastructure of the United States.
What? Why?
Yeah,
Why
at
are
Harvard
they?
they're doing this?
Why are they showing that?
Because it's, that's progressive, that's social justice, where this fossil fuel economy needs to be brought to its knees. So I'd like to understand how many incidents there have been, going back to maybe 1990.
Incidents of what?
Of food plants blowing up, refineries blowing up, train derailments, all this, this ship disaster. I'd like to see, where are we now in historical context? Is this unusually heavy? Is it unusually light? Is it normal? We're not going to get...
I don't think you get that many chicken farms burning down normally. I kind of like that.
I do too.
That looks like AI though to me.
For $1,800, Jason.
I could probably make that in about 60 seconds with AI.
Well, it looks like it is. It's for members, your photos and luminous quality. You provide a photo and it looks nice, but I wouldn't pay $1,800 for it.
No, that's too much. 180?
50?
Something like that.
But I'm saving up for one of these Hunter Bidens.
Look at this. Can you tell this guy to get the bicycle
please
off the sidewalk? You're a cop.
Hey, don't be hating.
Don't be hating. I just don't want to.
You should be fired, ma'am. You're useless.
Just-
Why don't you go retire? You're a do-nothing waste of time. That guy was breaking the law. You can't even get on the radio.
It's not.
What are you laughing about? You're a disgrace. You should be fired.
Right. There's George Burgay.
Go get a coffee. You loser. Ridiculous. I'm sorry, Charles. I can't stand that.
Yeah.
The police allow it to happen. This friggin' guy is still in business.
Right.
The whole city is falling apart, and that idiot is going to get a coffee.
Right.
Anyway, separately,
In other
Putin
news,
has determined. What the hell is this?
what?
This.
It's a baby.
I mean,
Crib.
I know,
Now she's putting her mask on. Let's
but
just
it's
leave her
very
alone.
strange. I'm not going to say anything more to her. She's got to put a mask on to be outside.
Well, watch this. This is nice.
I mean, you know what? What they should become is the sidewalk police.
Right.
They should be given tickets for that, personally clean it up.
Let's go that way.
This woman's out of shape, doing nothing, should be fired. Chobani, right.
We got to do a in-studio show.
We'll
on
do an
this.
in-studio show on Chobani, and Lee will join us for that, but this guy's now part of the Homeland Security.
All allied with the Clinton Foundation. His story and the World Economic Forum, his story is bullshit. It's just mega bullshit. This
I
guy I
think a
don't
lot
like
of them
at all.
are.
But I guess that's a construction site.
Smells good.
Yeah.
Sawing wood. Okay. So Charles, separately, Putin has determined, or maybe Medvedev, I think Putin said it,
Well,
that the UK, the US, and Ukraine were behind the shooting at the City Hall, whatever that thing is called.
right. I think the first thing, the first conceit that needs to be destroyed is that anybody outside Russia has a right to dictate the internal affairs of Russia. You want to dictate the internal affairs of Russia, move there, become a citizen,
Right.
vote.
Run for
Right. Our opinion about what they should do is irrelevant, and it's particularly so given how much of a disaster this country has become under idiots in the uniparty, in both parties. So there's a great piece on Zero Hedge by this guy Pepe Escobar, which is probably
Sounds
an
weird.
alias or something. But I believe, it's been a while, but I'm pretty sure I was on a panel, one or more panels with him on RT. And he's very, Jesus, that guy's smoking dope.
Yeah, at least he's got the courtesy to have some premium.
Is that, you can tell? So, he has a long piece, chapter and verse, going through names. I circulated it to a number of people. I circulated
Where do you wanna
things
go?
to. Let's keep going this way, we may as well go. And, but he professes to know the identities of the various people who were directing this, both in Ukraine and elsewhere, and
Really?
and the identities of different terrorist groups in the Caucasus, and it goes on and on and on. I circulated it to people to read, let's cross-check it and see if it's right or he's missing some nuance or whatever. But the gist of his very long piece, it's probably thousands of words, so I'm not going to remember all of it or the names involved, but the gist is that this was yet another operation where you get a bunch of hapless idiots to engage in what they think is a certain type of operation when in reality is a different type of operation, and you do it in a way so there's plausible deniability, but at the end of the day, it harms Russia. Right, and the first thing is it harms Russia, just as 9/11 initially harmed the United States. But it's the response to this that will be very interesting to watch. So far, they're moving quite quickly. I don't approve of torture and that kind of stuff.
Cutting off the ear.
Yeah, and who knows what really happened there.
It does look like he did, though. I mean, the initial evidence was bad evidence, and my resistance to it was...
He could have had a shaving accident.
I mean, you know, when the guy appears in court and RT publishes the video, I mean, that's right. Good reporting. But the thing that I object to is so many people will just take an unsourced clip from Telegram
right.
and somebody's statement right. about what it is and start spreading that around
right.
super energetically without knowing anything. Just like these people who are saying, oh, not everything is a conspiracy theory.
Well,
that's just not research.
Yeah, I mean, let's go back, for example, look at that guy in the skateboard and the black outfit and the helmet.
That's an electric skateboard. He was zipping a minute ago.
Let's go back to Colin Idiot Powell's speech
right.
to the UN. Every major Western intelligence agency and Mossad has concluded there are weapons of mass destruction. That was wrong.
It was a lie, is what it was.
Yeah, but it was. Keep going.
Yeah.
It was. And how many trillions of dollars and how many lives have been ruined by that, which was not something that happened over the course of a day. I mean, they studied that for a long time, got it completely wrong. So I think we have a lack of intelligence community,
it's a manipulation community.
Right, and these people, I mean, let's have real panels. Let's have disagreeing views. You know, one of the things that is a hallmark of apparently the way Trump runs his companies and this political operation is he loves to have differing points of view explain their perspectives and even shout at each other to really sharpen the contrast and get to the bottom of what actually may be happening. And I don't like that kind of, psychological tension. I'd prefer just to have, give me 2 points of view, I'll read each one, and then we'll take the disagreement points and we'll go point by point through them and examine those. That's the kind of thing I like to do without the screaming and the histrionics. But, we have one view.
Yeah.
We had one view on COVID. It was wrong.
Well, NBC, if you want to bring in, I mean, I don't understand that because even if they don't like Republicans, it seems like a standard thing on these shows where they have one person from the other side to be berated.
Well, but you see, remember, Ronna McDaniel was she was a rhino.
That's what I mean. But
so nobody was going to listen to her. No Trump person was going to listen to her.
When we, in 2 minutes, make our way over to the First Amendment Forum on odyssey.com/@crowdsourcethetruth, crowdsourcethetruth.substack.com, and subscribestar.com and patreon.com, I want to talk about just this whole concept that the employees are like, hey, this is what we want to do, and the management responds. To me, that's I would have fired everybody who complained.
They're a bunch of prima donnas, Jason. They're all, they've been in seats they shouldn't have had for too long.
Welcome to Kiev, Charles. Look.
Oh, yeah.
And here's your taxi
Soho
driven by Elon Musk.
Himself?
Well, I don't know, but it's a Tesla.
Wow. Soho Grand. Have you ever been here?
I have not. But why are they flying the Ukrainian flag?
Because they're morons.
And then apparently Westminster Abbey is flying the Pakistan flag.
Don't get me started. Do not get me started.
Well, I mean, I think I just did.
Well, we only have a
we're basically out of time right now, but we're going to talk about all of this and more in just 5 minutes. Join us in the First Amendment Forum. And a huge thank you to everybody who is sponsoring the show. We're making lots of great headway. Here's Adam Sandler is making a space movie, Charles. But we'll be back in